Hello and welcome to Hillsborough Middle School. My name is Joe Trabolski and I'm the proud principal of HMS. And in this video, we're going to go through a parent orientation, an overview of our academic program and the extracurricular programs that we offer at Hillsborough Middle School, and give you a general orientation if you are new to Hillsborough and your child is joining us for 7th or 8th grade, or if your child is a rising 7th grader from our intermediate school. This should give you a sense of what their schedule will look like and what we offer at HMS for the next 2 years for 7th and 8th grade. So Hillsborough Middle School is organized as a traditional middle school. That is, we have teams, interdisciplinary teams that consist of 2 literacy teachers, a math teacher, science, social studies, and typically a special education teacher to provide academic support for students who have individual education plans but are integrated into our general education program. These core teachers have a common planning period in their day where they can talk about the students because they all share the same group of students. It creates a smaller learning community within a much larger school, and it gives them the opportunity to focus in on some of those student issues, student life issues, and creating a more inclusive environment for the children that they are serving in each of these subject areas. In addition, we have a school counselor and the vice principal. In the case of the school counselors, they are assigned to specific teams, and in the case of the vice principals, they're assigned to a grade level. But they will rotate with that grade level, the vice principals, from 7th to 8th grade. So they'll be with your child for 2 years as they proceed through the middle school, and that gives them a chance to get to know the students as well. The counselors, the vice principal will meet with the teams routinely throughout the year to talk about student issues, student life needs, and so forth, and to provide all those additional supports that students need around their academic experience. A typical schedule might look something like this. So those core subject areas, starting with literacy, there we have a double period. I mentioned there are 2 literacy teachers per team, and this is why. Reading and writing are part of the literacy program, and so it's really an 80-minute block of time that we dedicate to literacy. All other periods are 40 minutes in length. In this sample schedule, they happen to be back-to-back. They may not always be that way for every child's schedule. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're split up during the day, but they will see typically the same literacy teacher for both parts of that, so they're able to coordinate their literacy reading and writing as sort of an integrated process with the students. And then, as you see in the schedule, we have math. When lunch comes around, students spend part of that period in the cafeteria for lunch, which we'll talk about shortly. And then they return back to homeroom for study time. This is in lieu of recess. The students have time to focus in on some of their academic needs, see a teacher for some additional support or one-to-one intervention, see their counselor, sometimes just organize themselves for their afternoon classes, take a little break and breather in the day. Many times the teams will use this for a little bit of outdoor recess when the weather is nice too. Students have that option as well. And then in this sample schedule into the afternoon, science, social studies, those comprise all of the team-based courses. And then there are some off-team courses like physical education and health, our related arts cycle, which I'll talk about shortly, and either world language or study skills support, depending on your child's particular academic program. So before we go into the schedule much further, let's just talk about getting the day started. We open our office here at 7:30 in the morning. That's an hour before homeroom starts. So if you need to drop your child off early for any reason, know that we do have a supervised study hall in our gym, sometimes in the cafeteria. We offer breakfast, grab-and-go breakfast items as well. So if your child is coming in early and they want to grab a yogurt or a bagel or muffin or something of that sort of breakfast bar, we have breakfast options available for them, and a supervised study hall as well, where they kind of get themselves organized again for the day if they're arriving before school early. And that's from 7:30 to 8:20, and the students can go directly into the building and into the gym or caf, depending on where we're hosting it that day. All of our buses typically arrive by 8:20, and so from 8:20 they start offloading, and that's when our students are free then to go to their lockers and get themselves settled into homeroom. All students will have a locker issued to them. And then from 8:30 to 8:39 is our homeroom on their teams. We do obviously morning attendance, morning announcements, and those morning announcements are also posted to our website. So as parents at home, or if your child is late one day or absent from school, you can still catch up on what the morning announcements may be. So you'll see a little link on our website to morning announcements where you can read the daily information that we're providing to students as well. And of course, passes are distributed and sort of the work of the day is set. So off we go with the schedule. As I mentioned, literacy is an 80-minute block of time dedicated to reading and writing. We do have different levels for our literacy. Most of our students will be in the proficient level program. For those students who are reading or writing at least a year above their peers, we do have an advanced literacy section on each team. And for students who may be struggling or need some additional support in literacy, we do have interventionists here in the literacy program that will push in or meet with students over lunch study. Sometimes I say push into the literacy classroom to meet with students to give them some additional academic support beyond their regular teacher support as well. And for some of our special needs students, we do have resource center literacy programs. And for students where English is not their native language, where English may be a second language, we have a full ESL program as well and supports there. Our math program for 7th grade is a pretty traditional Math 7 program that follows the standards for the state of New Jersey and would lead students into Math 8 for 8th grade. We do have many students, though, that are ready to begin algebra earlier than high school. And so some of our 7th graders will place into Algebra 1 Part 1. We take the traditional algebra course and break it over 2 years. So they'll follow a program of Algebra 1 Part 1 in 7th grade, followed by Part 2 in 8th grade. One of the reasons for separating it out is it gives us a little more time developmentally to work with students on these algebraic reasoning skills and concepts, in addition to the traditional math problems, as well as some other math topics, geometry, statistics, probability. These topics are still important to review at the middle school level, and so we're able to integrate some of those into the program while also giving them a full year of algebra prior to high school. And then for our most advanced, our most gifted math students who are, proceeding through math almost 2 years ahead of their normal developmental stage, we do offer Algebra 1, a full year course in 7th grade, followed by geometry in 8th grade. Again, these are for students who are truly gifted in mathematics and also have perhaps an interest in pursuing a program of study of pre-engineering or advanced science through the high school. Students who take Algebra 1, Part 2 will also be able to proceed into geometry and onto the high school honors program and also take advanced math and advanced science at the high school. Even students following the Math 7 and Math 8 program can do so if they start to excel as they move to the high school. You'll notice we also offer an Algebra 1 course in 8th grade, so there are some students who may move from Math 7 directly to Algebra 1. Try to offer a full range of programs in our math department to meet the needs developmentally of different types of students as they are developing their abstract reasoning skills at this pivotal time of life. And similar to our literacy program, we do have interventionists who provide academic support in the area of mathematics, as well as special education programs, resource center math for students with special needs. Our cafeteria offers a full range of food services, including grab-and-go sandwiches, hot meals, chef specials, salads, vegetarian options for students. We can accommodate just about any dietary need. Our food services program, which is run by Sodexo Food Services, is very accommodating. We have a manager here, Mrs. Horta, who will gladly adapt lunches to meet your child's needs. So if there are some special needs that they need to be made aware of, feel welcome to give a call and communicate with our food service department, and they can make sure that there's something available for every child here at the school to purchase lunch or to bring lunch from home if you prefer. But there are a wide range of lunch options here. As I mentioned earlier, students spend about 20 minutes in the cafeteria for lunch. Then they return to homeroom for the second half of the period where they have time to study, little study hall, or to get extra help from teachers, see a counselor, and so forth. Science program. This point in their educational career, students will experience science in a full laboratory environment. So all of our 7th and 8th grade science classrooms have a lab component to them. They have lab facilities in addition to general classroom instructional space. 7th grade is and 8th grade are both integrated science courses. So they'll study a little um, physics, a little earth science, a little biological or life science as well. So 7th grade focuses on force is at motion, genetics unit, they have an astronomy unit, and then 8th grade, introductory chemistry, metabolic systems, and ecosystems. For social studies, beginning in 7th grade, there's a return to world civilizations. And for 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, the focus is on world history. So at our intermediate school, they've had some American history, and they'll have American history once again at the high school in 10th and 11th grade. But starting in 7th grade, we look at the birth of civilization across all continents, Africa, Asian, Central and North and South America, European culture and so forth, Middle Eastern. And they'll look at what forms of civilization, how civilizations develop through the Middle Ages in 7th grade, and then picking up there in 8th grade through the colonial period, around the 17th, 18th century. And then when they go to 9th grade at the high school, world history picks up with sort of a modern look at the 19th, 20th, and into the 21st century to close that out. For our physical education program, students will have 3 marking periods of phys ed and 1 marking period of health. In phys ed, we focus on a combination of games and traditional sports, and also personal fitness. Just what does it take to be fit and healthy throughout life, and how to take care of one's personal fitness in addition to social activities and things of this sort. Students have the option to change for gym class, but it's not required. So if they want to bring a change of clothes, a change of shorts or sweats or things of that sort, they can. They'll need to keep that in their personal locker, and they can bring that to the gym lockers when they have class. But there's not a requirement that they have to change if they come dressed appropriately with sneakers or comfortable clothing during the regular day. When they go to health in 7th grade, that marking period focuses on wellness, social wellness, emotional wellness, intellectual and spiritual wellness, physical wellness, wellness with their environment. So it's just a focus on holistic wellness in 7th grade and a variety of different perspectives. 8th grade does focus on human sexuality, and the marking period will be looking at human relationships, human reproduction, sexuality, pregnancy, parenting, contraception, sexually transmitted diseases, infections, and so forth, and just overall sexual health and safety in relationships. These programs are detailed more if you're interested in the specifics of those curricular areas. You can find curriculum links to this as well as all the other courses on the district website as well. So you can see that in more detail. And if you have any questions, certainly feel welcome to reach out to the subject area teachers, counselor, or myself. For our related art cycles, students will have 1 marking period of each of these subject areas: art, music, family and consumer science, and industrial technology. Art and music are fairly self-explanatory. Family and consumer science is what in my day was referred to as home economics. It's a combination of learning some food science and food preparations. Students will look at food from all different angles, including how to prepare meals that accommodate allergies, accommodate different lifestyles, and so forth. And then in the industrial tech program, students will design and then develop and produce using traditional hardware, machinery, tools, and so forth, the fruits of their designs. And this is perhaps the one time in their career as they move through Hillsborough schools that they'll have the opportunity to engage in these sort of life skill oriented classes in addition to the creative art and music. And finally, in the program of studies, there's world language. Students have the choice of one of 5 world languages. They began this process at the intermediate school and even to some degree at the elementary schools. Now, this is part of their daily schedule. So they will have world language every day. It is considered a core subject area for them as well. The 5 languages of choice are Chinese, French, German, Italian, or Spanish. And once they have chosen that language, they must continue with it for 2 years. The expectation is that they will complete level 1 of that course over the period of the 2 years so that they can begin level 2 at the high school. And many of our students will actually begin level 3 at the high school. If they really dedicate themselves to their studies, they'll be ready for level 3 at the high school. So in addition to all of the curricular areas that I just mentioned, we have a full range of extracurricular programs. This will be described to students in September, but you can find information about all these on our website as well. This includes a range of interscholastic sports, band, orchestra, and choir, which are sort of pull-out programs during the school day, so they kind of happen co-curricular. Students may miss classes on sort of a rotating basis for some of their independent lessons, and then there are before and after school rehearsals for the larger group sessions, and then a wide range of clubs and activities from student council to musical theater and everything in between, all of which is posted on our website. And between our curricular and extracurricular programs, we think we're meeting the needs of just about every student, their interests, their personal goals, and hopefully doing so in a program of studies that is engaging, but also a sense of family with their teachers, with the school administration, and as partners in that process with you at home. I hope this information has been helpful to you. Thank you so much for your attention.